In Minecraft, there are so many different ways to play. Some people just like to build things, some people like to adventure, some people just like to get through as quickly as possible and get to the end and defeat the dragon. Game over. Not me. The dragon's not important to me. At least in this world, it's not. Although I do plan on fighting the dragon and getting elytra, because I would like to travel around quickly, getting from place to place as I'm building this world, as I am placing all of the resources in different locations so that I will return to places to visit and gather resources. This is a farming area, but I do have like an automated sugarcane farm in here, so this is where my sugarcane comes from. This further down there is also a farm for trees, so it's a tree farm. I get all my wood there. So, but that's all great, right? But what I like to do is put story behind everything. Every single build that I've done in this world has a story. And the people that live there or work, in the case of that tower over there, have a story. And I like to introduce lore wherever I can. And this world is going to be absolutely full of lore as I build more and more. And this is just the beginning. Now, this is a world that I'm working on my main channel. It is the Saga of Labyrinthum. It's a Let's Play series, though I am focusing more on building than the survival aspect. Though I am doing a lot of survival. You will see me fight the dragon eventually. I will do some exploring caves, fighting mobs and stuff like that. I've already had one episode where I died like 4 times right outside this house. It was partially blown up by a creeper as well. That was fun. But I am constantly being plagued by pillagers in this world. But how do I figure out what kind of lore to do in something like this? Well, I just started off with figuring out, well, first of all, where am I going to be building my first house? Now, spawn is just right over here, very close by. So we got spawn chunks over there, and the spawn chunks will be used for an iron farm. So I'll have a constant source of iron, which will be great because I'm going to need it. I love my lanterns, although I can get lanterns in from a librarian. But you can't get things like hoppers, and I will be doing a lot of work with hoppers as well. Automated farms and such. But how do I figure out what I'm doing in this world? Well, first of all, yes, I have a screaming goat. I decided that I was going to start off with a little farming village. But there needs to be conflict in this world, right? Now we've got the mobs, the zombies, skeletons, creepers, and such. And of course we have the Nether. And there is a ruined portal over there, and that's going to be kind of a source of lore itself. I haven't done that part yet, but the Nether has a major part in the story of this world. But so do the caves. And the reason this world is called Labyrinthum is because of all of the maze-like caves underground. That is a part of life, and I'm not doing anything to cover them up. Well, some of them will be covered up if they're in the way. But we've got some major caves over here, and we're going to have a road that goes past them, going out of the village and going on towards the next area over there, which is a fairly large plains area. And over there is a village as well. So we've got this big cave opening here. I'm probably going to build something around here. Kind of like, I don't know, a guardhouse or something. Just, to watch out for any mobs that might come out. And each of these areas, everything has its own story. That village over there is going to be a major farming village. I know this is a tiny farming village, but this is my starting area. So I'm starting small and getting bigger. But the next area I'm building is a city on top of cliffs over there. And so what I did here is I specifically chose this world because of the cliffs. So I was searching for a world that has cliffs because I wanted to build a clifftop city. And so this is it. Now the clifftop city I will be starting fairly soon because this village I'm nearly done with. And I need to clean up so much stuff around here too. But yeah, the clifftop city is over there. Actually, it runs from those islands over there is the industrial area. Central part of the city is up there and goes all the way down here. Lots of houses and stuff will be in there. And I gotta figure out a road going through here. This is a bit of a pain, but it's going to be fun. It's a challenge. And so basically, I believe it was 3,000 years ago, the overworld and the nether had a working relationship. There's a fairly well-functioning civilization in the nether. That is the piglins, of course. And something happened. And there's some war that happened between the overworld and the nether. And as a result, there's absolute devastation in the nether. Society just devolved. And what remains there, of course, are the fortresses and bastions. And they are ruined, basically. So the piglins, who got a lot of expertise and knowledge from the overworld, and the overworld got things like, well, glowstone and a couple very important things. Quartz, which is used in redstone contraptions and everything, and of course netherwort. So two things died out in the overworld. One of them is, well, right over here. This little spot here is a 3,000-year-old ruin that used to be an apothecary. And that's something that suffered. Clerics had they make the potions. They need netherwort. There's very limited supply because they can no longer access large amounts of it. But of course they kept it up a bit. Some places were able to continue growing it. But the thing that they were really hurting on was nether quartz. Without the quartz, there goes industry. Because that is what drove the circuitry in this world, right? So for 3,000 years, this world went back to a more medieval type of world. Until they decided to open up nether portals. They figured out how to get back into the nether. There's one in there. And what they discovered on the other side is absolute devastation, and the piglins were unable to recover from the war. And they're extremely distrustful of overworlders, or I guess humans. But there's another group, and that is the Endermen. They have taken advantage of the situation, and they are manipulative, and they have played with the the emotions and just everything that the piglins have against the overworld. And so the Endermen have started showing up in the overworld as well. Now, of course, they live in the Warped Forest in the Nether, but also the End. So the End is going to be... It's an unwritten part of my story so far. I need to figure that out. But their part with the... in the Nether, they are not native to the Nether. They've figured out how to get there. And it's a little complicated. Now, each individual house here, I decided that I was going to make books for every house, or not just every house, but every person living in each house. So if we go over here, I'd like to just let you know that this world is not like medieval. No, it's like early industrial age. Well, very much industrial age, because we're going to have a lot of factories over there, especially with the crafter coming. That's going to make it so interesting. So they have technology. They do not have anything like motorized vehicles or anything like that, though they do have, of course, like steam engine boats. They're also going to have, guess what? Airships. Yeah, I'm going to be building airships in this as well. But yeah, like, these are the books. And where did I put it? There it is. So we got part of the story in here. Now, there's only one entry in this book. But this person has disappeared. And he's a soldier. And he's gone missing. And I will be doing that part of the story in the next video, actually. And it's concluding his part, because he's, of course, no longer here. He's disappeared. So that brings a lot of conflict into this. I want there to be a lot of conflict in this story, in this world. And this is just a little village. We're going to have nations that are at war. We're going to have much more to do with the Nether. We're going to have military installations that are built on both sides of Nether portals, which is why Nether portals are military. That's a military lookout tower. And at least inside the cities, there will also be some limited access by the clerics as well, mainly because, well, they want stuff from there. And the more technological people, what would you call them? Technologists? I don't know. They of course want nether quartz, and they want lots of it for their machinery. But this world, the story is just beginning, and there's so much to work out. And in that city, as well as the capital city, which is going to be way over there, we're going to have libraries. And they're big libraries full of books. I'm writing every single one of them. So anyone who wants the world download, they will have to become patrons. And my Patreon page is linked in the description. I should mention that gold tier patrons will have access to updates to this world whenever I update it. So every single video, there will be a new download. Silver tier, not silver, iron, iron tier patrons will have access to the world downloads at the end of each season, or at like specific points in a season. So I did episode 11 most recently. We're going up to episode 14 in season 1. So there will be a world download for iron tier. And this isn't the only world that I have available. I've got several other worlds. Some of them I'm no longer working on. Others are works in progress or on hiatus. I've got a Create Mod world, which I'm taking a break from. I haven't done much in it yet, but that's mainly because I would like to learn the mod first. It's a little, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. And I've also got Hardcore, which is also on a little bit of a break, but I'll return to it once Season 1 of this world is done. And there's several other worlds, older worlds that I played in Bedrock and Medieval Tutorial World as well, which I really should return to one of these days. It's something that I had a little bit of trouble with because I couldn't find any information about what the inside of the towers look like on city walls. I could find like walking tours through them, but they were modernized. I don't want modernized stuff. I want the originals. I want to know what they look like or looked like originally. But now, it's really hard to find some information. So I may have to make things up because I'm trying to make it realistic, historically correct, except for the fact that we got 1 meter sized blocks to build with. So it's a little bit difficult in that case. But yeah, and that's not the only thing you get access to with Patreon. Everything is on Patreon. It includes access to Brambles, which is a supporter server, and Discord. Some Discord perks as well, and more. There's more. But another thing about the lore, and this has to do with Patreon and YouTube channel members on my main channel. Every single one of my patrons and channel members will be getting a home or a business, depending on the tier that you have chosen. And the higher the tier, the more prominent of a figure your character is. So you get to develop your character. You get to tell me who you are in this world. You get to tell me what kind of work you do and even how you want your home built. Within, of course, some parameters depending on the style of the architectural style of the city or town or village. So yeah, there is that. So I want to have a lot of participation with my viewers, and I just love that. In fact, this, it's a pumpkin stand, and over here, was that the leather one? I think this leather one here. Yeah. So these two were determined by viewers, what they were going to be. Also, a viewer has told me I should move that screaming goat over with the cows over there and have a dairy farm. So we have both cow's milk and goat's milk. Why not? That's a good idea. But I need to have it in an enclosure that so that it won't jump out. I need a drink. I'm talking too much. But anyways, I'd like you to let me know what you think about this world and my plans, and my plans are huge. It's going to go beyond this country as well. It's going to take a while. I don't know, maybe a 10-year plan or even longer. But I would love to have this world going for a long time. I just can't wait to get this part finished. But it's almost done. Anyways, if you like videos like this, then please consider subscribing. And also check out my main channel. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.